Deep in the Brazilian savannah, there's an indigenous tribe that has stumped cancer researchers for over 30 years. They're called the Xavante, and among their women, not a single case of breast cancer has ever been found. Not rare, not low. 0 cases of cancer, ever. And scientists have been trying to figure out why ever since. The Xavante are one of Brazil's most studied indigenous populations. They are Brazilian Indians tracing their ancestry back to the Asiatic population that migrated to the Americas through the Bering Strait more than 15,000 years ago. Today, they number almost 22,000 people, with 50% being female, living across 11 reserves in the state of Mato Grosso, and their population is still growing at more than 5% per year. They are not a small, isolated pocket of people. They are a thriving, well-documented community, which is exactly what makes this so significant. In 1993, a doctor named Guilherme Bezerra de Castro made the observation, after working with the Xavante for 10 years, that this population does not appear to develop breast cancer during their lifetime. And since then, there have been no occurrences contradicting that observation. For 30 years, tens of thousands of women, no breast cancer. Now, to be clear, other types of cancer do exist in this population, such as cervical, lung, stomach, and leukemia. This isn't a story about a people immune to all disease. It's something far more specific and far more interesting. Researchers decided to go deeper. They mapped the Xavante genome and compared it against populations from around the world. What they found was striking. The Xavante Indians are genetically distinctive when compared to other ethnic groups. No incidence of breast cancer cases has ever been reported in the population, and polygenic risk analysis indicates extremely low breast cancer risk in this population when compared with breast cancer control samples from the Cancer Genome Atlas. In plain terms, their DNA is built differently, and that difference is measurable. Statistical analyses reveal a significantly lower mutation burden in Xavante women compared to global populations, including rare deleterious variants in cancer-associated genes. Additionally, their polygenic risk scores for breast cancer sit at a mean of around 35 compared to 80 to 90 in standard cancer cohorts. That's less than half the genetic cancer risk of the average person on this planet. So how did they end up this way? Researchers believe that both the genetic distinctiveness of this population and their low germinal mutational load are important in giving them protection against breast cancer. The demographic and adaptive processes experienced by this indigenous group may have shaped their genetic architecture over time. In other words, thousands of years of living in a specific environment, eating specific foods, and living a specific way gradually sculpted their genetics. Their bodies adapted. Some of the lifestyle factors considered protective include first pregnancy early in life, having multiple children, prolonged breastfeeding, and the absence of hormone therapy. These aren't complicated interventions. They're patterns of life that the modern world has largely moved away from. Here's why this matters beyond the Xavante. The case of the Xavante Indians is a beacon for cancer research, pointing toward the importance of genetic diversity in shaping our approach to cancer research and treatment. As we incorporate these lessons into clinical practice, we're entering a new era of personalized preventative healthcare strategies against cancer. If we can understand what specific genetic variants are protecting Xavante women and why those variants exist, we move closer to something that medicine has been chasing for decades, not just treating cancer, but preventing it from forming in the first place. A tribe in Brazil, no breast cancer, for over 30 years of recorded observation. That is not a coincidence. That is a signal, and scientists are finally listening.